This ain't a card game, but in perspective it's the same. Put two and two together.
Mobb real. We are here with a legend on a 25th year anniversary of the infamous album, man. Legendary. I see it. Queensbridge legacy on his hat. He been holding it down. I gotta say, salute to you. 25 years, you know, and I know it's longer than that since just the grind and everything like that, getting to this point. How'd you enjoy today, man, where it was just a celebration of you and having your peers come on, reminisce, give stories, and just, you know, continue to support what you've been doing?
Man, it really feels good, you know what I mean, to be celebrated by the fans, to get love from my peers, and just to celebrate the album, 25 years later, that still, it being well received. It's just a humble feeling.
With all the stories that came in and everything tonight, man, who were some of the guys that kind of like hit you where you was like, damn, I forgot about this, or I remember that, or this one just kind of like, it brought you back in a certain spot?
I would have to say Alchemist, you know what I'm saying? Because he be remembering some things, man, and, him mentioning me being in Amsterdam, and I don't smoke weed, so... For me to be smoking the weed and then we having to get on a plane and me being at the airport paranoid, that was pretty funny to me.
I liked when Roxanne Shante came in and she just kind of like, he's like, yeah, that's my little brother and everything like that.
Right.
But you had so much admiration for her and everything like that. How proud were you to see how proud she was of your success and where y'all coming from? Because she talking about, she see you as a baby for real. Like, you got blessed on the courts.
I was really proud, you know what I mean? Because, like I said earlier, she's one of the people that was like larger than life to me growing up. I looked up to her, and to see her, acknowledge the work that we did 25 years ago is a blessing.
Real talk, man. And just for yourself, I know this got to be tough doing it without your brother and celebrating and everything like that. What do you think he would be going through right now, just if he was here with you and just got a chance to share this moment?
If he was here right now, he would be just celebrating just like me, you know what I mean? It'd probably be a little bit more extravagant than this.
Even in the corona?
Yes, because P didn't give a fuck. You understand what I'm saying? It would have probably been more extravagant than this. And, I miss him, man. You know what I mean? Because he always added his little flair to it. You know what I mean? That extra special sauce to it. He's definitely missed, man.
Real talk, man. And just for you, with all of the success you've had in the past, what do you look at it as far as now that you're still here, you're still able to produce, you're still able to rap, make music and things like that? What do you feel like your purpose is moving forward within just the music industry and just this new generation making music?
I believe in my heart, my purpose now is from this moment on is to make the next 25 years as great as this past 25 was, if not greater.
What's the formula to gain success in this game, man?
The formula is pretty simple. It's focus and dedication and sacrifice. So it's those three things: focus, dedication, and sacrifice. You have to do those three things, and that's, to me, in my mind, is the formula to success.
Listening to you speak earlier and talk about your LA fan base and everything like that. When did you get to actually experience that? I wanted to ask, was it before the LA or after LA?
Oh, it definitely was before the LA.
That you went to LA and experienced that love and everything?
Yeah. Okay. The love that we experienced was way before the LA thing. You know what I mean? I know the LA thing kind of happened early in our career. I would like to say 97.
Okay.
But we had already been to LA before that, years before that. and the love we got out there was crazy.
Well, did that change a little bit, or did that have an effect on, you know, because you say till this day LA is one of the biggest, one of the biggest Mobb Deep fan bases.
You know, since the LA thing, the love that we got in LA, it never changed. You know, you got to understand that LA, the East Coast, West Coast stuff, it wasn't really real. It was pumped up by the magazines, and you know, Bad Boy and Death Row might have had a little bit of a beef, but it wasn't. It was hyped up to be a West Coast, East Coast thing. It never really was to me. But that being said, being that the media hypes things up, it could make certain individuals believe that stuff, live and try to live by it and enforce it. So you definitely had to be careful of those individuals that was just didn't have nothing to do with nothing, but they was like, oh, what, you know, East Coast, West Coast. Nah. So you had to be cautious of that. But other than that, the love was always there.
Nah, that's real. That's real. And I got a chance to speak to you last time. Just kind of, and that little piece kind of got messed up, and I didn't really get a chance for the people to hear it. But my question then was, you know, how'd you survive this experience? You know, of '90s hip hop, New York at that time. You know, hip hop beef which could seem more wax, but it could get real in certain situations. How did you survive those times to be here?
I would say that the way that I survived was the way that I move and the way that I still move today. You gotta move smart, you know what I'm saying, out here. You know, you just gotta be careful, you know, you gotta be cautious, you gotta know who you're dealing with, you gotta know who you around. And you can't never take nothing for granted, you know what I mean? You can't be sleeping out here, you can't be caught slipping. So, you know, people might have called me paranoid or, you know, whatever you wanted to call me. I always moved a certain way. You know what I mean? I wasn't stupid. You know what I mean? Because any given second, you could just be not here. You know what I'm saying? On the strength of ignorance. So I always moved in a certain way.
As far as, you know, kind of, because I'm going back of what I was listening earlier, as you know, you and Alchemist potentially teaming up, you know, working together to go at any producer and things like that. I wanted to know, I seen a lot of people saying certain producers had help or things like that. And it seems like with hip hop, man, you can't get help from nobody. You can't, somebody can't give you nothing and all of that. What's your perception of, you know, guys getting help, or I guess can't take certain credit for certain things and things like that? What's your thoughts on that, about how fans see credit, I guess, to whoever produces, or how they were able to actually put those songs out?
I mean, you know, a person like me, you know, I mind my business, you know what I mean? However a person decide to, you know, approach his career and the way he comes up with his beats and stuff like that, you know, that's kind of his business. But I can just tell you one thing about me, like, you know, I do everything mostly myself, you know what I'm saying, if not 100%.
Does it, I mean, for you, does it take away? Does it take away from the integrity?
No.
Okay. Yeah, because that's what my understanding I really wanted to get. I don't
believe if somebody gets somebody else to do certain work for them, that takes away from the integrity. Because you got to remember, a producer is somebody that puts things together.
Okay.
So that don't mean that they physically have to play the instrument. You understand what I'm saying? Or physically touch the machine. They could get a bunch of musicians in the room, tell them what to do, and guess who produced it? The person that got everybody together, you know, and that's the definition of a producer. So, you know, I can't criticize somebody for assembling a team of, you know, beat makers or musicians together, and then, because he's the mastermind. So, you know, I never really faulted anyone for if they had, you know, ghost producers under them or something like that, because, you know, they directed the situation.
With having people work with you and things like that, does it, you know, do people have it confused between making beats and producing? Because it seems like that seems to be the confusion for a lot of people.
Right. So if you want to get technical, I mean, it is what it says, right? There's producing and there's beat makers, right? So you could be both. You could be a producer and a beat maker, right? But then you can be individually, like just exclusive producer by definition is, you know, a person that produces something. So he puts everything together. By definition, a beat maker is a guy that's actually doing the physical work, making beats. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to get technical. So yeah, I think people, you know, use the term loosely. But you know, sometimes we're not being technical. Like, if somebody is just a beat maker and we call them a producer, we're not gonna be like, no, son, you're not a producer, you just a beat maker. You know, nobody's not gonna stop and say and correct anybody. But if you want to get technical, there you go.
Does it take? Do you need that though to make these hits? Do you need that team? Do you need that camaraderie? Or is it all, you know, by myself and yo, I gotta do it like that?
Yo, it's like to each his own. You know what I'm saying? You know, you had the heat makers, track masters.
Yeah.
You know, the hit squad, and you know, all these different production teams, and you know, they made wonderful music. You know what I mean? And I'm sure it was a few producers within the group, but then you got solo producers like DJ Premier, Pete Rock. You know what I'm saying? Large Professor, Swiss Beats, and you know, all these people. You know, so everybody got their own formula.
As far as lyricism now, does it still apply on that aspect too? Because we hear some of the best lyricists in the world had help, whether, you know, or a team to help put together these amazing hits that we love and we listen to. I'm
just one of those people that's kind of really. I say this. You know, I come from a school of where you wrote your own lyrics, right? You know what I mean? And you was nice for doing that, picking up your pen and creating something, right? In this era, you know, you got superstars. Some of them don't write their own lyrics. And you can't call them a dope lyricist, you know what I mean? Maybe you could call them a dope artist or something like that, because look, they still got to spit it and put a swag to it. You know what I'm saying? So there's an art in that. You know what I mean? Can we call them dope lyricists? Maybe not. But some people don't look at that side of things. They just look at the overall career and say, yo, he killed the game. He sold 10 million records. You know what I'm saying? So he won. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? If you want to argue about, you know, technical things, dope. You know what I'm saying? It's always good for an ill debate. But you know, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's to each his own. I don't sit here and criticize people. You know what I'm saying? I'm my own worst critic. You know what I'm saying? So I don't got time to really criticize too many people. I just, you know, do what I do.
But as far as for you on the integrity side, you do respect somebody who, if somebody was to sound the greatest MC, you would want them preferably to be like, yo, you put in your own stuff for you to really be in that conversation.
Yeah, true indeed, because, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, I respect a person that, you know what I mean, they write his own lyrics, like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta respect that, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, his pen is crazy, like somebody like Jadakiss, you know what I mean, you ain't nobody writing for him, you know what I'm saying, like, he top shelf MC, you know what I'm saying,
Facts.
The whole locks, to be honest with you, you know what I'm saying, like, I love all of them.
One of the tightest crews in hip hop ever.
You know, one of the realest, man. You know what I'm saying? And I respect them because ain't nobody going in there and writing no rhyme for them.
Facts. What was it like with Black Thought? You know, talked about, you know, coming on Flex and y'all joint and like having probably one of the greatest freestyles on Flex of all time. You know what I'm saying? Really putting it down like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's an honor, man, and a pleasure to see somebody just blacking out to your beat, and that person blacking out is Black Thought. You understand what I'm saying?
Just going.
I mean, come on, man. Like, that's it, you know, that's superhero powers right there. That's superhero powers. You know what I mean? People don't do that.
Facts.
That's superhero status.
And I've always wanted to ask you as well. What was it like for you, and I'm sure Prodigy as well, when you guys got down with 50? How was that relationship? And you know what I'm saying? that whole G-Unit era, because that was dope. A lot of people was happy to see that, you know, somebody from Queens representing, and y'all was working together, and y'all dropped dope songs through that time as well.
How was it working with 50?
Yeah.
Man, yo, it was a fucking amazing time, man, to be honest with you. You know, we was out of a record deal, searched for a home, and we didn't even get a chance to even search for a record deal. 50 called us, and, you know, he wanted to signed us, and, you know, he took us everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Word.
Is it like, as far as an artist, seeing a new guy getting that attention, but you guys being the level that y'all are and seeing that, is it a level of, I can't sign under this dude, or like, you know what I'm saying, having all of that? Did you guys come in with that, or were y'all able to take, because it seemed like it worked out for you guys?
You know, and you know, people kind of, you know, they say that argument about, yo, y'all was on first and this, that, and third.
Exactly.
And, you know, what I say to that is, like, okay, we was on first, but, you know, we didn't sell 10 million records, you know what I'm saying, or 20 million records. It don't really matter who get on first, it's who got the platform, you know what I'm saying? And he had the platform, and he wanted to share some of that platform. I wasn't going to be like, fuck that nigga, you know what I'm saying? I was on first. Like, you know, that's that. Nah, we're not doing
divide
that.
and conquer mentality.
Yeah, it's just, you know, you divide and conquer within yourself. I can't, you know what I mean? So he had a platform, and he was willing to share it, and we took the opportunity. And, you know, if I had the chance to do it all over again, I would. You know what I'm saying? Because he was it was a pleasure to work with him. You know what I'm saying? Smart individual. You know what I mean? And you know, it's not that many times in life you get to be around somebody like that with that level of thinking. You know what I mean? So if anything, you would want to get around something like that and just, you know, learn some things about, you know what I'm saying, like how you do that, like, you know what I'm saying, and just listen. You don't gotta ask questions. And, you know, I learned a lot from being around the situation. You know what I'm saying? Dope. I learned to be, you know, you got to be a big thinker.
For every rhyme I write, it's 25 to life. There was so much I got you trust safe.
Dealing with the industry for so many years, what were some of the, you know, down parts of, you know, going through, I guess, the learning process? Because for the most part, when I speak to a lot of guys who's been in the industry, they say it's the type of game where you get taken advantage of first till you learn the business. What was that for you as far as like learning the business, and what was some of the harder things dealing with the industry?
You know, one thing I learned about the industry is that, you know, nobody don't really care about you to the degree that you would care about yourself, right? So if people don't see you caring about yourself, they're not going to care about you. So you really got to mind your business. You have to pay attention to your business. You know what I mean? Very much so. And people are out here to jerk you, and you got to be wary of that.
Did you go through those times as well? Was it difficult, labels and things like that, or was your transition a little easier? And when did you start getting hip to understanding how to deal with the business, being so young?
It took me a while. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you know, ups and downs. You know what I mean? People that didn't really have your best interests at heart. It took a lot of fuck ups, you know what I mean, to really realize that you just got to pay more attention to your business. It's not just making music, it's business too.
And at the same time, what was the highs of dealing with the industry, dealing with all of this, you know, new machine, you know what I'm saying, getting that type of support?
The highs of the business is like, you know, you know, getting the gold plaques and doing the tours and making all of the money, and you know what I'm saying, and the endorsement deals. It's just, you know, those are some of the high points, you know, that you have to appreciate, because that's what you get in the game to do, you know what I mean, to be successful.
No trouble. For new artists coming in, if you could give them any advice about once they actually secure the bag and they got the money and they got the attention and the eyes, what are some of the things that they should watch out for or be ready for?
I would tell them to get ready for a rainy day. You understand what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, being on top don't last forever. You know what I mean? And to really, not to jinx yourself, but be prepared for that day when you just not on top, and invest. You know what I mean? And use your fame and fortune as a stepping stone to something else. Oh, music that should just be the stepping stone.
Okay. I wanted to ask you something that I know that didn't get out to the people from last time we spoke. Your relationship with Tupac, what was that like?
My relationship with Tupac was non-existent. I didn't have no relationship with him. I never met him. You know what I mean? The only time I saw him was at, I think, like Jack the Rapper, some music convention down in Atlanta back in the days in like 1993.
Before y'all got into any type of
I didn't know him, and I'm sure he didn't know us. You know what I'm saying? I saw him. I only knew him because of the movies and some of the records he had dropped. I didn't know him. You know what I mean? But then when he mentioned our name on the record, even at that point I knew that I never met him. So I always was curious to what was the beef was about.
Yeah. So what sparked that? Why he? You still to this day don't know why he mentioned that?
I don't know for sure because only he knows for sure, or maybe somebody that was around him probably would know. What I'm guessing is that on the record "Survival of the Fittest" that we said "Thug Life, we still living it." Survival of the fittest, strong. Thug life, we still living. We living this till the day that we die. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he was like, "Yo, I'm Thug Life." We wasn't saying no.
Okay.
We wasn't giving a subliminal. We had did the hook, and my little cousin from Brooklyn, he just was like, "Yo, Thug Life, we still living it." I mean, Tupac, what he got? He didn't have it copywritten or nothing like that. I mean, thugs is thug. Like we was Thug Life, still living it for real. So I think he could have took offense to that. Maybe, I'm guessing, I could be totally wrong, but that's my only explanation. If you ask me if I had to guess, I would guess that. But even then, I still liked Tupac.
What was it like when y'all was in the thick of it, though? You know what I'm saying? The back and forth, him coming at y'all. Because outside looking in, you would think it's war. Like
right. I didn't know him. So, I mean, of course, I was like, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Me and P was like, fuck that nigga. We made a record to diss the nigga, drop a gem on him. God bless her dead. In rap, when you know what I'm saying, you got a beef with somebody. I mean, now we can look back on it and be like, it wasn't really about nothing. You know what I mean? And much love to Tupac, but at the time, you know what I mean. We didn't give a fuck. If it could have been anybody that would have said something about us, we still would have been like, fuck them, and let's make a record going back at them. Excuse me.
It seemed like it was very competitive, man. Like just that whole time, man. From not just on a battling or beefing type of thing. Just you had Wu-Tang, Biggie, like so many great artists dropping at that time. For you guys, how was it? I guess for y'all ego, for just knowing that y'all coming from where y'all coming from, the projects and all of that, and being able to be looked at on that level with these other supreme artists.
I mean, I kind of didn't look at it that way because I live with myself every day, and I'm in my group, and I didn't look at it like, we ill because we still in the same conversation or whatever.
Okay.
I just was, I just knew that we was doing what we had to do and we was doing something good, but it did feel good to get that mention, you know what I'm saying, amongst that elite group. You know what I'm saying? When it came to being amongst those top greats like the Wu-Tang, Biggie, Nas, and all of them, and to be mentioned in that same circle, it didn't really... I mean, I guess it could boost your ego a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? But you can't let it get to your head. You know what I mean? You still gotta go out there and bust your ass to stay in the conversation. You know what I mean?
Nah, real talk, man. Queens, a lot of competition.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of politics that goes behind
Hell yeah.
Queens and everything. What was it like for you just, going at it, I guess, with some of the guys and just seeing everybody else rise and even the new guys like, 50 and things like that later on coming out and making impact?
What was it like to see that?
Yeah, what was it like to be a part of it and to like deal with all the politics and things like that, and then to see the birth of what you guys were able to influence?
Oh man, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? To see somebody from Queens come up to be one of the biggest in history. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is like inspiring. Like, you know what I'm saying? You be like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Son came out of left field and became like one of the biggest rappers on the planet, and he from Queens. You know what I'm saying? That's how you be like, yo, the best rappers come from Queens. You know what I'm saying? Because we always seem to come up with some like huge superstars. You know what I'm saying? From Run DMC to LL Cool J.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Tribe Called Quest, Nas. It's like, damn, like we, Queens is the borough.
Was it a lot of battles at the time when y'all used to go at it and everything, or ciphers and things like that?
I mean, there was a lot of ciphers, you know what I mean? I never personally was into battling and the cipher thing, culture. It just wasn't me, you know what I mean? But I could imagine there was a lot of them.
Is there anything that, legendary ciphers or things that you remember back then?
Nah, I didn't attend too many of those, man. I ain't even gonna sit here and hold you. I heard about them, you know what I mean? And I always was in awe of that type of shit, you know what I mean? To see motherfuckers battling and shit with the lyrics and being nice with it. I always kind of, I looked up to that, man. That takes a lot. That takes a talented person to get in there and be battling and shit. You know what I mean? you got to be really confident. You know what I mean? Because you can get your ass torn out the frame. Because niggas be nice. You know what I'm saying? I just never went that route. You know what I mean? And, early in my career, in high school, you know what I'm saying, I was getting ciphers and all of that. But I kind of quickly figured out that wasn't my lane. You know what I mean? I just wasn't cut out for the battle and stuff. And that was cool. That's okay.
Well, what drew you to hip-hop? What made you want to do this?
You know what I mean? Just watching music video box all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always was a creative person. Watching music video box and just seeing all the rappers in the Jettas, you know what I'm saying? With the gold chains. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit looked mad ill to me. So when I was looking at that, I was like, damn.
Who was you watching? Who was you specifically, you remember watching that you was like, yo, I could do this? Or
like, all of them, like Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Molly Mall. You know what I'm saying? Like, that whole era.
Yeah, Roxanne was your big sister. So
yeah. Seeing, and that was my first taste of it. You know what I mean? When I was seeing her and how I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? That's ill. But I didn't really want to become a rapper just yet because I was just young, super young. I was just amazed by how everybody liked her. You know what I'm saying? And I was just looking like, I kind of wanted that for myself. But I didn't know how I was going to get that yet. I just didn't want to be a rapper. But then by the time I got like 12 and 13, when I really started listening to music, I was like looking at the music video box. I was like, man, I want that. So I just started writing. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to fucking write a rhyme, but I just started copying shit, and that's when I first started knowing that I wanted to become a rapper.
Around that time, like 12, watching those videos, what was your environment like?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was rough. You know what I mean? But you don't look at it like that when you living in it. You know what I mean? You just a kid. You just think this how shit is. You know what I'm saying? But when you start looking at the TV and seeing that there's more life to than this shit, you start dreaming. You know what I mean? And I started dreaming, and I was looking, and the closest thing to me was looking at the rappers. You know what I'm saying? I was too short to play basketball, so that wasn't happening. And I just was looking at them rappers. I was like, yo, I think I could do that. And I just started fucking writing rhymes, like, you know, just copying people's styles.
You let people hear your stuff, or it was personal?
Nah, I was letting people hear my shit.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't shy about that. You know what I mean?
Dope.
I wasn't like in the house rhyming to myself. Nah, I was letting my friends hear it. You know, certain select friends. And then when I got to high school, I seen how niggas was rhyming at the lunch table. I was like, what? I do that shit too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just started rhyming, but you know, a year ago. But I was like, oh word, like, fuck that. Check these rhymes out, like. And there was some nice people around, but it's not about how good you are with the lyrics when it comes to the business.
Okay.
It's about how bad you want to make it. And how serious are you? You know what I'm saying? If you just concentrate on being an ill fucking rapper, then you gotta want to go that step further and make a career out of it. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta figure out, okay, how the fuck do I get on the TV screen? You know, how do I get a record deal? Like, you know what I mean? And so, you know, at that time there ain't no handbook for that. Ain't no guidebook on how to become a rapper. So we, you know, kind of figured it out and took it from there.
What was the first step? Like, what made you, like, say that this could really happen? Like, did you already at that time was linked up with Prodigy, or that was just you?
Nah, I wasn't linked up with Prodigy yet. You know, because I knew people in the projects that made records before. You know what I'm saying? Like, that made beats and stuff like that. So that kind of got me a little bit close to it. You know what I mean? It didn't get me a record deal, but it got me into the flow of, okay, you got to go to the studio. You got to do this. You got to do that. X, Y, and Z. And, you know, that's how that was.
That's crazy. When was your first, like, I guess, your first situation where you like, yo, this is about to be real? Like, at that time, you linked up with P, and that's when it really got popping, or did you have certain things maneuvering yourself?
When I linked up with P, that's when it started to get real, because I, you know, now joined forces with somebody that was like-minded, you know what I mean? He already had experience with record labels.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So we like, yo, fuck it. You know what I mean? Let's go out there and try to get it popping. And we started doing talent shows and, you know, making demos and getting songs in certain people's hands. And next thing you know, we had the opportunity to get a record deal.
What was it like first meeting P?
Meeting P, you know, it's like normal shit, regular shit. High school, mutual friends, you know what I mean? We hooked up because we had mutual friends and we got cool. And we both had the same vision, the same dream. And then just one thing led to another.
Was it just you and him, or was it other guys around, other friends that had similar, and you guys are the ones that just kind of stuck to it?
Nah, out of all our friends, it was just me and him who wanted to be rappers. Wow. You know what I mean? All of our friends, I didn't really have no friends that wanted to be rappers, really. You know, I think that shit's like a far-fetched reality for people, you know what I mean? Back in them days, niggas did.
You gonna be a rapper? You wanna be a rapper like that?
Yeah. I mean, that shit sounded like a fantasy, like, you know what I mean? But when we showed motherfuckers that we could do that shit, niggas was like, where do I sign up at? You know what I'm saying? Niggas like, I want to do that shit too. Everybody started wanting to be a fucking rapper. Wow. I ain't even gonna lie to you, yo. Niggas I could tell niggas, when niggas see us come out, and from around the way, certain niggas was like, fuck that, I want to rhyme too. You know what I mean? They say niggas is coming through, buying cars, mad clothes, and you got a video. And everybody want to be your friend. When niggas see that shit, niggas is like, fuck that, I'm rapping. And everybody turned into a fucking rapper.
Was you turned off, I guess, from the law of the streets, or I guess getting a regular 9 to 5, or like what turned you off to those directions? Like, you know, probably, I'm sure, I don't know what your friends were doing, but maybe some of them was in the streets or not, or whatever. What turned you off from that and said, nah, I'm gonna focus on this, even though it's far-fetched, it's a dream? I'm gonna do this. Me and P, we gonna put our heads together and get this shit popping for real.
Cause it was like this, man. I went to art and design. If I wasn't gonna be a rapper, I was gonna be an architect anyway, regardless. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? Cause I went to high school for architecture. That was my main. That was my what they call those classes? My major.
Main course, yeah.
That was my major. Yeah. Architecture was my major. That's why I went to art and design. I was busting that out, and then I wanted to be a rapper. I met P, and then I just started neglecting the schoolwork. But what deterred me from taking the street route is like I knew that I was meant for much more. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to go to jail.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people don't have that insight though. That's crazy.
Nah, I was like, fuck that. Like,
was that your parents that instilled that in you, or?
What instilled that in me was, a little bit of my grandmom's, a little bit of whatever, but my environment. You know what I mean? Because I seen some foul shit, and having a helpless feeling is not good. You know what I mean? I remember helpless feelings, like living in the projects as a kid. Like, will I get out of this shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can I get out of this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want some money. You know what I mean? How I'm gonna get out of this? So I always wanted to get out of it. I didn't want to go down the road of all those other people that was going to jail for like 10 years and coming back, and I didn't want that shit. I didn't want that. I didn't want to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted a life. So I was like, okay, I was serious about the school stuff, and I was serious about the music stuff. You know what I mean? And I just stuck to it.
That's dope, man. Because a lot of kids sometimes they get caught up in both worlds, and I guess the allure of it too. Because I got like some of my older brothers and things like that, and I'm like, yo, I'm chopping up with Havoc because they're like, yo, what we was doing to Mobb Deep, like they were in the streets, so they like Mobb Deep. Like, what do you say when you hear that? Like, it motivated the hustlers, the gangsters. It made them like, yeah, like we gonna allow. You know what I mean? We gonna
because we was like the street like poets, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we talked about the hood in an authentic way, you understand? Mm-hmm. Because we was in it. So of course, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers is gonna relate to that. They gonna be like, yeah, that's they talking that shit, like, you know what I'm saying? It you can enjoy it as music, or you could use it to amp you up to go do some foul shit, you know what I mean? Or you could let it inspire you, you know what I'm saying? Either way, it's a piece of art.
Real talk. And I'm sure it did inspire a lot of people in different ways, because some of those, like the same dudes that might want to go do certain things, others will look at it like, yo, this is what's happening in my neighborhood. This is the story. This is my CNN. This is my way of getting this news out. Because y'all was talking about some real things and everything like that. Did it ever affect you guys? Like, when you look back at some of the lyrics, some of the things you've done, and maybe, I guess, a certain influence you may have on people? Do you ever look back on that?
Nah, I don't ever think that my lyrics had a negative impact on anybody.
Not even negatively. Either way. However, you know what I'm saying?
I hear it all the time. You know what I'm saying? I hear it all the time. People tell me, like, yo, your music got me through a lot of shit. You know what I mean? I hear that a lot, and I feel them. You know what I'm saying?
Was that your purpose? Is that what you really wanted out of it more than anything? Or
no, my purpose was just to talk about the streets and the emotions that come with it. The problems, the ups, the downs. I just was talking about things that I was a witness to, things that I may have done, just the street life in general, and people appreciated that shit a lot, man. They really did, and it showed, because 25 years later, people still fuck with it, man. You know what I mean? It's not a fluke. You know what I mean? It's not fake. You know what I mean? People like really fuck with that shit, and You know, that's priceless, man.
No talk.
You know what I mean? You can't pay for that. You know what I'm saying? We put in the work, and guess what? You know how they say you only get what you put in is the work that you get out?
Mm-hmm.
We put in a lot of work, you know what I'm saying? And we put a lot of emotions into that album, you know what I mean? And only what you put into something is what you're going to get out of it.
You saying that, it just shows that, you know, I forgot who said it while you were speaking earlier, but you guys make timeless music. And they asked, can this album be made today and things like that? And it's like, yes, if it's needed. Like, this is things that'll last forever. Certain music that's made will last forever. People will, like, it was a theme song to a time, and it continuously adds to what's happening now, because people are still going through a lot of these same things.
Of course.
The streets are still the streets, and a lot of things are still happening.
The streets will always be the streets, man. The streets will always be the streets. And you know, that's all we did. We talked about what the era of what we was in, our environment. You know what I mean? And today, it could happen again. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. I gotta ask you, one of the major, I guess, beefs besides the Tupac thing was y'all and Jay-Z. You know, what was that like going through that situation at the time? Jay-Z being one of the biggest artists in the world and things like that, and I'm sure has immense respect for you guys. You know what I'm saying? To even come at y'all, knowing what y'all represent. What was that like going through that period? I'm sure you had people in your ear like, y'all gotta go back, y'all gotta kill this dude and things like that.
To be honest with you, yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never really had nobody in my ear saying like, y'all gotta go at Jay-Z.
Okay.
Not in my ear. Maybe P had friends that I didn't know of that maybe they could have said that to him. You know what I mean? I never.
You don't seem like you took nothing personal, have.
I really didn't, yo. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I swear, I'm not faking it, yo. Like, for real.
Jay-Z coming at you, it's like, yo, the opportunity.
I ain't really give a fuck. I was like a little bit mad, maybe. You know what I mean? But I ain't really give a fuck, to be honest with you. I just was like, oh, there's another nigga saying our name. You know what I mean? I guess we must be special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, Jay, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it, you know what I mean? And you see, each time somebody saying our name is somebody fucking great. So
yeah.
We must be doing something right, like, you know what I'm saying?
Cool.
So, I mean, when you think about it, like, how mad could I really be? You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You gotta be a fucking dickhead to be, like, really, really for real mad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I wasn't for real mad, you know what I mean? I just was like, okay, how we gonna fix this?
Yeah, was it a plan of attack though? Like, at least, as far as musically,
it wasn't a coordinated plan of attack. You know, Jay-Z's at the top of his fucking game at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, the best thing you could do is, you know, you gotta fight back.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta fight back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, we made a couple of mentions in the song. You know what I mean? I don't even think people even really kind of paid it too much attention because there was so much smoke coming out of Jay-Z gun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like I said, that shit came and went.
Yeah.
But not really, because it was a little bit of a, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even 50 said in the line, like, Jay-Z did Mobb Deep. Like, that shit kind of stuck around. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember that line.
Yeah, that shit kind of stuck around. So, you know, I think it even stuck around more than the Tupac shit, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? It's stuck a little more. Pardon me. Tupac just sounded kind of like mad. Like,
nah, Tupac sounded like he hated y'all. Yeah, like if you see us on sight, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, what did they do to this man?
Yeah. You would think that we fucking stole a check or some shit. The way he was wilding, like he was like, yo, he had passion behind it. He's like, fuck Mobb Deep.
Yeah,
like,
yo.
He's like,
when I catch y'all.
yo, son, I was like, but yo, to be honest with you, yo, I I didn't even think two fucking things about that shit. I wasn't even worried like if we saw him like I don't know, maybe because I was a little bit younger back then, like, you know what I'm saying? If I think about it now, I should have been thinking like, yo, if we see this nigga, son, like that's how I should have been thinking, like, you know what I mean? But I wasn't really thinking like that for whatever, you know why? Because I just been through a lot of real shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
Young too, man.
I seen real beef.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that shit was like kind of like record shit. Cause you got to think, I don't know him. So
to you, it's like what people would call now internet beef.
Yeah, like it was real on one hand, but it was kind of fake to me because I seen real niggas get shot. You know, I seen niggas beef, and I seen niggas standing across the street from each other like this, like, and just start blazing at each other while I'm standing there. That's beef.
Yeah, that's.
You understand what I'm saying? Like that kind of shit. The shit where niggas don't even tell you they got beef and they letting you stand next to them, and the next thing you know they getting shot out. That kind of shit. You understand what I'm saying? So when this nigga is just busting shots and just let me know he busting shots, it's like that's not real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I see some real shit. You feel me?
So with Jay, it was a different type of energy. It was
with Jay.
It was more like lyrical.
Yeah,
sparring?
with Jay, it felt like lyrical. Make you look stupid beef in the rhyme. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it felt like. I never ever felt like it was gonna be a thing with him, like on a physical level. Like,
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying? Because I think that, you know, the shit that happened with Jay-Z, like, you kind of would have to be a sucker to like take it that serious.
I got
like,
you.
You know,
if anything, he's kind of showing love, but at the same time, it's like you wouldn't attack.
Like trying to spank you a little bit.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he don't respect you, I could imagine that he won't even fucking say your name.
And he said it.
You know what I'm saying? In a beef. So I never in my mind thought that, yo, when we see Jay-Z is on, like, in my mind, I pictured if we saw Jay-Z, we would be like, yo, what up? Like, yeah, that shit ain't about nothing. Like,
did y'all ever speak after that?
Yeah, we did.
And what was the conversation like?
It wasn't about. We did not address that dumb shit. Like, you know what I mean? It was about something totally
at that point, y'all was in
different.
a whole different type of space.
Yeah. It was just totally different. You know what I'm saying? I got on the phone. I think it was like a 3-4 way call about an artist that he had, and they wanted me.
And that was your first time speaking with him after all of that?
That was my first time ever speaking to Jay-Z.
Wow. And
the first time ever speaking to him was years later on the phone. And they wanted me and Prodigy to executive produce a project from an artist that they had.
Wow, so at the end of the day, it was all business nonetheless. Well, and even within that same track, he dissed Nas, and Nas and him really went at a war and things like that.
And then they was down with each other.
Yeah, and they was cool with each other. What was your thoughts about that?
I thought that was dope.
Okay, cool.
I thought it was dope.
Were you excited though when Nas did come at him so strong and he was getting?
Of course, I mean, I'm from
said
Queensbridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from Queensbridge, son. Son did the ultimate clapback.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Ether.
It's a verb now. People use that as like, you got Ether or whatever.
Yeah, son, like Ether. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was epic.
Yeah. Nah, man, I know it was good to also have those war stories because that also builds character, and you know, to see, like I said, watching what I was watching before, and you just saying, like, you know, now we're at a different time where men, we think different, we look at the game different. As far as artists, I can imagine the industry always wants to keep you guys, in a sense, fighting, or whoever's running certain situations while they're able to put themselves in position. What's your thoughts on just, you know, the elevation of you guys from the Jay-Z's and the Kanye's and the Diddy's and just guys who's been able to deal with all the craziness that happened, but also find a way to be successful and now represent the artists as the executives?
What do I think about them?
Yeah, being able to actually, you know, go through all the craziness I went through, dealing with the industry and you know, I guess the industry putting artists against each other, but then finding a way to win at the same time as artists and now representing for the artists and not just being a suit. and not understanding what you went through or what it takes to be an artist?
You have to salute those type of people, you know what I'm saying, those individuals, because it's not easy to make it in this game. You know what I'm saying? You can even have a fucking hit record. If you're an idiot, you're just a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna make it in this game. So I salute those people because I know what kind of road they had to travel to get to where they at, even a Jay-Z. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I salute those kind of people. And, you know, none of us is promised tomorrow. So they navigated all the way up to here and they got to where they had to get to. They didn't have to get there, you understand? It could have went a different way, but that was their path. That was their fate. And always, I will always salute those type of generals.
Nah, real talk, man. And just for yourself, man, as far as what do you want the people to know about yourself, about, you know, what you guys have built, about the infamous 25 years, just, you know, what do you want to leave the people with?
I want to just leave the people with this. I just want to say thank you to them, truly, because though it took the ability and creativity to get to this point for myself, but without the fans, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't be where you was at. You understand what I'm saying? So I really gotta thank them, and I just want to let them know that, you know, the best is yet to come.
Yo, Havoc, you are a legend in this game. We love you. We appreciate everything you've done, and just want to salute you, man. And much love and continued success.
Thank you.
For every rhyme I write, it's 25 to life. There was so much I got to trust, safeguard in my life.